All right, what's up YouTube? Back with another project. Today I'm working on my dad's 2002 Jetta. It's been misfiring under a load, and I've kind of done a few things to, I guess, narrow things down. At first it wasn't throwing a check engine light, but I finally got a light to come on, and it's for a O2 sensor, bank one, sensor one. So today we're going to do that change and see if it fixes it. But under load, once you get in the boost, it starts misfiring really bad. Checked all fuel pressure, all that looks good. Tightened all the clamps. It still could be a boost leak somewhere. It could be a cracked hose. But as far as like all the clamps, I just made sure everything was tight. I did find a few loose ones, went and test drove it. Still had a misfire, pulled the fuel pump out, cleaned the screens, checked pressure at the fuel rail. Everything looks good. Put new plugs, put new coils. And but before, like I said, didn't have a check engine light. Finally threw a code and came up as bank one, sensor one, which in theory, sensor one, which is upstream, is what tells the computer your fuel, like your lean, rich mixture. Where sensor two would be post-cat downstream, which kind of basically tells you whether or not your catalytic converter is good. So if sensor two was bad, I wouldn't think that this would cause the issue, but because sensor one is pretty important for the computer to know how much fuel to deliver depending on how well it's burning. So my assumption is maybe it's a safe mode. Once you get it into boost, it's either a fuel cut or something because it's not reading. I tried clearing the code and it's like a hard fail. So as soon as I turn the car on, after a couple seconds, boom, the light comes on. So I'm hoping this fixes it. So yeah, this will be a how to change the upstream sensor on or O2 sensor on a 2002 Volkswagen Jetta 1.8 turbo. I'm sure there's other years. I believe they made this car from 99 to 06. I'm not 100% sure, but any 1.8T from that year range, this should work for you. So let's get after it. Get the car up in the air and we'll try and locate this sensor. Okay, car's up in the air. Let me show you what we got. See if I can locate it. There's the downpipe. Somebody's obviously been in here. Just got some really ugly welds and a weird 45 cut. So it's not professionally done, but it looks like somebody repaired it on the fly. Let's see, some weird stuff going on up here. But sensor one, it's right there. So we got your cats here, and there's sensor one. I don't know if you can see it. So it's pre-cat. Sensor two, like I said, which is weird. I don't think this is a stock setup because there's sensor two up here. And it looks like it's in the cat, in the catalytic converter. I don't know if that's right. I don't know where the phone turned off, but I don't know if that's right. But that is, I believe, sensor two in the back. So I'm gonna go ahead and assume that's sensor one, pre-cat, and go ahead and get that removed. All right, here we go. Okay, step one, there's a little box. Sits underneath the car, underneath the passenger side front floorboard. It's two 10mm plastic nuts. You're gonna remove those. And I'm not sure how loud that heater is in the background, but hopefully it won't be too loud, which will give you access to the plugs. I'm not sure which one is the upstream, but what we'll do is we'll chase it back, follow these wires, and we'll disconnect it from here. So first step, two 10mm plastic washers. This box comes down, flip it upside down, you have access to the plug. So I'm sure if I got the new sensor out, I could identify which plug's which, but it's still in the box and I'm being lazy. So what I'm gonna do is just trace it backwards from the sensor. Okay, sensor one is actually the one with the weird plug. So that's sensor 1. It's plugged in here. Pretty simple. Just stuck a flathead in between. Oops, sorry. Stuck a flathead in between here and just kind of wiggled it out. Pretty simple. There's going to be some zip ties along the way. Feel free to cut those. From what I gather in the kit, it comes with replacement stuff. So, so just traced it back. There's these little channels. Everything just slides right out and unplugged really easy. So here comes the hard part. I'm not sure what size that is yet, but I'll let you know. Pop that off and we'll get the new one in. Okay, so comparison. There's the new one. Of course, it's got the cap on it. The old one, I pulled it out. It's pretty gross. I'm not 100% sure whether or not it looks normal or not. Noticeable differences. Wire length. You can see how long this one is and how much more you get out of the Bosch replacement. It's the part number. I went off of FCP Euro. I get all my parts from them. I love the lifetime warranty, and their website and shipping is awesome. But yep, there's a replacement part. I'll have to figure out what to do with all this extra cord if it works. I'm sure I can wrap it up and zip tie it. The bag came with new clips and zip ties, so yeah, so we'll go from there. We'll see how it fits. But I did not have a box wrench. I have a lot of my tools on my boat, so I'm missing some wrenches. So this, it's bigger than a 19 millimeter. I'm guessing it's either a 21. It's probably a 21. I just used an adjustable. Thankfully, it wasn't welded on there too tight. So I was able to break it free. So we'll go ahead and pop the new one in, and we'll see how it does. Okay, let me show you what I did. There's the box. I wound up the extra wire, laid it on top of the 2 wires in here, and just zipped the box up. There's plenty of room in there for the access. The kit came with one of these. It's hard to tell. A little plastic plug or cap, snaps over top of the wire for that. And then everything else just kind of went back the way it was. As you can see, there's the new sensor up top. So we'll go ahead and lower the car. I'll clear the light and then take it for a quick ride. Like I said, we should know pretty quick. The light came on within, a minute of starting the vehicle after clearing the code. So lowering the car, clear the code, and then take it for a ride. Okay. Here we go, just ran the code. It was a PO 135, O2 Sensor Circuit Bank 1 Sensor 1. So that's the code that was in there. We're gonna go ahead and, let's see, clear the code. So we're gonna delete it. Okay, so then that's it. So we'll go ahead and turn the car off. Let's do clear one more time. I want to clear, yes, clear everything. There we go, that's the proper way. Sorry, I don't know what my camera was on. I was too busy looking at my screen, which is really nasty. So it's good. It's going to clear the code, and now it's completed. All right, we'll go ahead and turn it off, and then we'll turn it back on, let it run for a little bit. And see if it comes back on. I'm going to stick it outside because right now we're in the garage. Oh, jeez. Okay, so the O2 sensor fixed the code. It's no longer failing. Only problem is the car's still doing exactly what it was doing before. So I have no misfire codes. They got the fuel pumps working. I got new coils, new plugs. The car did sit for a long time. It's got fresh gas in it because it didn't have a whole lot of gas when I got it. So I put 93 in it with some sea foam in the tank to help clean things up. I checked all the connections as far as, the boost pressure side. I cleaned the mass airflow sensor. But for whatever reason, under a load, as soon as it gets in the boost, it pops, it bucks. and it just falls on its face. It picks itself up and it falls on its face. So anybody, Volkswagen guys that can, I don't know, give me an idea what I might be missing. I haven't pressurized the system, the boost side, you know, to make sure there's no boost leaks. That is my next thing on my list of things to check. I did replace a lot of the vacuum lines that were broke and cracked. There's like a little hub underneath the, I don't know, it's on the front of the engine. There's just a bank of vacuum lines. I did have some broken vacuum lines. I replaced all those. But yeah, I'm at a loss. It feels like a fuel cut, feels like a boost cut. Could be either or, I don't know. You know, not too versed with the Volkswagens. So any advice, you know, guys, just comment below, kind of give me some ideas of where to go to next. But the O2 light didn't come on, so and it came on right away before, so I know that was at least my code issue. But all right, thanks, and until next time.